What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR. Sitting across from me this week and every week, the hall is rented, the orchestra engaged. It's now time to see if you can dance. It's Desra.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights.
Muppet Show.
Yeah.
Even better.
And sitting across from me is Brian Ball.
Although I don't know if it's better than Star Trek The Next Generation. Been watching a lot more of that. Yeah, I don't know.
We just watched the episode we made lol.
And every week on Why We Love PlayStation VR, we dip into the PSVR archive. We pull a game out at random. We play the crap out of it. We check it out, see if it's been given any love by developers, any updates, any DLC. God, please, let's hope not. And then we tell you if it's worth your time. That being said, Desra, what game did we decide to play this week?
We decided to relive our nightmares and play Bartender Simulator VR.
Bartender VR Simulator? I don't even have the title right. Bartender Simulator VR by VR Factory, May 16th, 2019. Wow, that's another recent one.
A very new one, yes.
Came out for $19.99.
Yes, it did. That is a fact.
Desra, what kind of game is Bartender VR Simulator?
It is a bartender simulator in VR.
Is it, though?
Well, that's what it says on the tin.
That's sure what it says on the tin. Let's talk about what you're actually doing before we before we take a sledgehammer to this thing.
So you're basically given 4 different levels, and each level has 4 different drinks, and you're trained, I suppose, how to make these drinks. And you're set up with the bar with all the different ingredients and cocktail mixers and glasses and shakers you need. And in the practice levels, it shows you the recipe, and you're supposed to make the drink according to the recipe. Yep. And then in the challenge levels, they basically, same thing. You have 10 minutes to make as many drinks as you can. The drinks are randomly assigned, and you don't get the recipes unless you want to get a pretty hefty fine or detract from your score.
Yeah. And with each one having a goal of how much money you make.
Correct. Right.
Yeah. I'm really bad, apparently, at bartending.
Yeah. Well, here's a whole other discussion there. But so yeah, that is the entire game. So if you're looking to watch this episode to find us, have us explore the depths and the strategy and the multi-layered facets of this game, then just fast forward, because that's pretty much the game. Oh, there are leaderboards.
And there's no platinum trophy. So if you think that pushing through this, be like, oh, it's simple. I'm just going to learn to make some drinks. I'm going to pour some drinks, and then and then I'm going to get a platinum trophy. You're SOL. There's no platinum trophy.
No,
just letting you know. But it does require a couple move controllers.
Yes, move controllers only. No other options.
Yep. And and you are literally standing behind a bar, making drinks. And as a bartender VR simulator or bartender simulator VR, I still haven't gotten the name right. It's obviously, it's got to be customers come up to the bar.
Sure.
And they say, hey, can you make me this drink? Like counterfight, right? They all line up.
Right.
And if you're lucky, there'll be like 2 or 3 of them asking for the same drink, because as 2 people who have bartended before, we know that's the best thing ever.
Right.
Right?
Because you can batch them up.
So if you want to have a bartender simulation, this is obviously how you're going to do it.
Sure. Except you're not.
No, this is not how it plays at all.
This is not a, if anything, so if you don't know how about like most, larger restaurants are set up, your bar, there's typically more than one bartender back there, and they usually split off roles. There'll be one bartender who'll deal with kind of the guests at the bar, and there'll be one called service or service bar.
Right.
And sometimes they switch off, but there'll be one section of the bar that service is basically they're making the drinks for the servers in the restaurant.
Right.
Service bar, you're basically sitting there, you're firing out drinks as fast as you can. You don't really talk to the customers. There's not a real lot of interaction, not a lot of all the stuff you think is fun as a bartender. Yeah. It's just crank out drinks as fast as you can. This is service bartender simulator.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. And actually, there doesn't seem to be a regular bartender or any reason to have a regular bartender at these bars, because the customers are far off in the distance.
Yes.
And they're having a great time.
They may actually be 2-dimensional. I'm not sure about that.
They don't need us at all, though. Is basically the deal.
Nope.
And actually, you know what? Let's take a quick breather and talk about those customers and what's happening out there. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed that this game didn't say, hey, it's your first bartending gig. You're gonna work at a dive bar. And then you're going to slowly work up to like a sports bar, and then slowly work up to like the nightclub, which is the first level. They really just give you all these swanky bars right away.
Well, I think the nightclub, which is the first level, I think that was supposed to be the dive place. Because, I mean, all you're making what, like rum and coke?
Tonics.
Yeah, gin and tonic. It's just super basic. And, was it caipirinha? The first one?
I want to say caipirinha was the second one, with like the mojitos. And
yeah, but just super basic, here's your rum and coke, here's your Jack and Coke.
Nothing
that
crazy.
kind of stuff. So I think that was the game's way of, like, really just saying, oh, no, this is, like, the trash place.
But
yeah,
I kind of like the fact that like there's a lot of stuff going on other than the fact that there's no customers at the bar. There's a lot of customers out there. Like at the nightclub, they're kind of dancing and there's people like socializing, they're hanging out at the tables over there, and like the lights are flashing and everyone seems to be having a good time. I mean, except for us, right? But it is blurry.
It is super blurry. And did you actually watch them for any length of time?
Well, and so that's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? I kind of think it's okay that like everything gets repeated and that there's not a lot of stuff going on because your attention isn't out there. Right?
Sure.
If you're like just kind of doing your thing, it seems like whatever's going on out there is really natural.
Yeah.
But that out there is blurry. Like Drive Club. The tracks are really blurry because what you're focusing on is up here. But also the bar,
which is also blurry.
Up here is also extremely blurry. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. There's no way this is pro enabled. This thing is
no, it is not
super duper blurry.
Definitively not.
And like, even like the bottles, which are super duper important. Like if you're learning your bar, like it's not like you learn one bar in this game and then you're good to go for the next bar, the bar after, the bar after.
Right.
The layout's different. The bottles are different. It's like, so you have to pick up the bottles and actually read them. That's the first thing you're doing in this game is reading bottles.
Yes.
Horrible.
And one thing, I mean, and again, speaking as people who've been a bartender, like you want to piss off a bartender, real easy way to do that. Walk behind their bar and just put the drinks in different places.
Right.
Because you don't, once you've learn that, like, you don't look at the labels anymore. You just know this is where my Jack is, this is where my rum lives, this is where my my gin is. And what so you can get to that point in this game. I'll give it that credit, and it does reward it rewards you putting stuff back where it belongs. But yeah, I mean, when you're first learning it, you have to pick up the bottle and read it, and that's hard because it's
blurry.
Yeah
Blurry. My question is though, I have a note down here that says that I always needed to be looking at my glass. So
yeah.
So like you should be able to, as a bartender, like in real life or even in this game, wishful thinking, you should be able to like do stuff without looking.
Yes.
Grab the ice scoop, do that,
oh my God.
Throw ice in there.
Oh my God, the ice.
Grab the bottle, pour some stuff, do your thing. But man, oh man, if I wasn't looking at my glass the entire time, then there's a point where it says put 10 sprigs of mint into this drink. That's it. You're literally doing one at a time. I've never seen a bartender like count 1, 2, 3. No, you take like kind of a small pinch or a big pinch, you grab it and throw it in, you muddle it up. Like so like counting 10, there's no way you're getting all 10 into that glass, right? And it's counting for you, luckily, so you don't have to like estimate. But like if you're not looking at the glass, you're still gonna have to put like 13 or 14 in, just because a few of them are gonna miss.
And you don't look at the glass when you fill it with ice. Maybe your first day, like your hand is in the well, you pick up the ice, you throw it in there, you do it by weight. It's easy. And I mean, this game. Well, we'll get to the person who's got his name on this game in a little bit, but it claims to be this is like a simulator. This is super realistic, and the physics are so good. You get points for doing flair and all that. The physics are garbage. They're hot garbage. Again, going back to the ice, like you've got to so slowly go in there to scoop the ice, because if you flick your wrist at all, it all goes spraying all over the place, and you end up with like one ice cube in you.
I will say, when I started this game up, and I was like, I always talk about my setup, how somehow magically, in my crappy little 498 square foot apartment, in my like little 6x6 gaming area, somehow I have the best setup. I don't have tracking issues. I don't have any issues at all. Like, and then this game threw me for a loop, right?
Well, because it's not tracking.
Well, because I started it up, and the first thing I'm doing is I grab the ice scoop, and first of all, the ice scoop is not where my hand would be. Like, it's not the normal angle of my hand. So I'm scooping ice in the strangest way possible. I've been scooping ice for 20 years.
Yeah.
And somehow it's suddenly the most unnatural thing on the face of the planet.
This is where the game breaks. The most fundamental part of making drinks.
And before I adjusted my setup for this game specifically, I put my hand in the ice, and then it would kind of like, it would act like it was losing tracking, like as if it was getting stuck in the ice when I tried to pull my hand out.
Okay.
And then when it finally kind of regained tracking, the ice would go everywhere.
Yep.
And I'd be like, what? And so I literally had to like start the game over with the camera pointed even further down. Even though like I would tested it and made sure it wasn't actually losing tracking in that area, for whatever reason, whatever the game was doing when it was pulling out of the ice, acted as if it was losing tracking. So I had to literally change my camera setup for Bartender Simulator VR.
And how many times did it decide it was helping you by resetting the camera and putting you in the wall?
Every single time I started a level.
Yep.
Every single time. And so I'd always have to take a step back, reset the camera, then take a step forward to be where I wanted to be.
Yep.
For some reason, it thought that the best place for me to be was 3 feet away from the bar and 3 feet away from the drinks that I needed to like manipulate.
Yeah. Which is weird. Like, this is a game that gives you the option, because there are, I guess we'll give them credit for this. There are plenty of games that somehow disable the camera reset button.
Yeah.
This doesn't do that, but you teach it, no, this is where I like it. And it says, no, you want to be in the wall. Nope, this is where I want it to be. No, you don't. All right, fine. I will physically move myself. Nope, you want to be in the wall. And the other thing is, too, even, again, they make a big deal of the fact that this was created with the expertise of Tomek Malik, who actually, I did look this up, and this is legitimate. He is a 3-time World Bartending Championships. The Flair, for those of you who are old enough to remember Cocktail, those of you who are a little bit younger, Christian Delpeche.
Ooh, I want to take you. I'll go. No, I won't do the whole thing.
Yeah, no, that's all right. So it's basically based on him and input from him, which, reading between the lines in the press release, it sounds like what happened is they sat down with him for 10 minutes. He said, oh yeah, these are the tools I use. These are the 10 most common drinks I like to make, and here's how you do a couple tricks. Can I have my check now?
Is it his voice in the game?
No, it's some
not
British
even
guy.
his voice.
Yeah, no.
Great, because Tomek is Polish.
He's Polish, yeah. And from what I can see, really talented, super great guy who I think just saw an opportunity to make a couple extra bucks.
Good for you, bud.
Yeah. But, like, gravity exists in this world, but it is capricious at best.
So their game rewards you for doing like tricks with the bottles, like throwing from one hand to the other, flipping them in the air, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How responsive was all this for you?
As someone who's been a juggler for 30 years and worked in restaurants both as a server and a bartender for 15 to 20 years, depending on how you count it, I thought this would be the part I would enjoy the most.
Yep.
This was the most nauseating. After I tried the first 2 or 3, I was like, nope, that's it. The only throwing I was doing was throwing bottles in frustration at the people in the.
I was doing that constantly. I failed every level numerous times because something would inexplicably break for no reason.
Yep.
I think you said that you also saw glasses explode for no reason at all.
Yeah, so it's one thing, like, the game, it wants to, what it really, really wants to be is a game that really rewards precision.
Yeah.
That's what the rules are set up for. That's what but what it does instead is, because the physics are so wonky, like, I will totally, I'll cop to, yeah, I was bringing the drink up and I clipped the bar top as I hit it. And if that shatters the drink, totally my fault. What isn't my fault is, here's a martini glass on the table, 3, 2, well, the other thing is, every drink, you must place a napkin down first.
Yeah. Before you start making it.
If you pick up a glass first, you will fail.
Yeah.
You have to put a napkin down first. And then here's the other, like, the failure issue is so weird with this game. So you've got your glass, your mixer glass. First thing is fill it with ice. It has a little green meter around to tell you when you have enough ice. No bartender ever does that. You fill it till it's full.
Yeah.
And then you go. But again, because of the physics, if any ice dumps out, you no longer have enough ice in there to win. but the bar hasn't gone down. And if you add ice to it, the game has just said, no, you don't have enough ice now. And so you will make your drink. And you'll finish your drink. And you'll put it down. And it'll say, not enough ice.
So it penalizes you for something you can't correct.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdness, with this game. I found that there's no vibration in the move controllers, which is an issue.
Yeah.
Because I feel like frequently if you're tossing the bottles or if you're even when you're just grabbing something, just so you don't have to be staring at your hands the entire time. It would be nice if the game told you, oh, you've got it in your hand. Oh, that's a little vibration to know that, like, if you click the trigger, you've got it in your hand.
Yeah.
Anything. And this was the funniest part of my week. Well, I have to set this up a little bit.
Okay.
Because here's the setup. At a certain point this week, I got a text from Des saying, where the hell are the martini glasses in the rooftop bar?
Oh my God.
Right? I got a text from him, and now I've been a little tired and a little cranky and a little sick this week. And I looked at his text and I was like, what a fucking moron. I went back to bed. Today, and moments later, I got a follow-up text from you, like making me feel better that I didn't respond because saying, don't worry, never mind, I found them. Today, I'm on the rooftop bar for the first time since starting this game, and the first drink they say to make is a martini. Mm-hmm. And it's like the instructions are put this and this, blah, 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 do this and this and this, put the strainer on top of that, and now pour it into a martini glass. Now the bar has the kind of like structure around the top where you would actually put martini glasses when they come out of the dishwasher, so upside down for them to dry, and they'd usually be right above you. If you've seen any bar, you always see glasses up here. It's usually wine glasses, martini glasses. You just take one down, boom, so they don't get dusty.
All your stem glasses.
Exactly. And so but it has that kind of like structure above you, like the kind of like whatever. And I'm like, well, they're not up there. And then I look over here where all my other glasses are.
You got your Collins glasses. You got your Rocks glasses.
Not there.
Nope.
There's nothing over here. There's nothing behind me. Thank goodness, because the tracking is bad enough. If I had to reach behind me, I'd be in big trouble. And for like 5 minutes, I just went.
Oh man, I wish I got a text.
And I almost sent you a text. I was like, hey, follow up to last week. Where the hell are the martini glasses? They're in like a dishwasher drawer.
Yeah, like, they're in a glass washer, which has not been mentioned or pointed out or even hinted at in all the other levels.
Like there's like this like little rim, like in the bar where like this is the first time you've ever opened the bar, right? Like everything else is just out there in the open for you to use. The other thing is what kind of bar has you make this drink and then pour it into a hot martini glass? Yeah. Like the first thing this game should tell you to do isn't put down a napkin for the customer. Pull out the glass and then fill it with ice to chill the glass.
Yeah. Every place that's even if the glasses aren't straight from the glass washer, you chill martini glasses.
Yeah. And like there are customers who are very, very specific. They want that glass chilled. They want the martini as cold as possible. They want little ice chips floating in that martini glass. This game wants you to pour cold beverage into a hot glass.
Now, what's the part of a drink that takes the least amount of thought? My vote would be the garnish. You throw an orange wedge out there, right?
Yep.
You're done. Ba-bum. Here's your orange wedge. Here's your maraschino cherry. Here's whatever. Because the physics are so bad and the expectations are so precise, you find yourself, it's somewhere between operation and bomb defusal. Like you need to reach in and grab the orange peel.
Yeah.
Because if you're a millimeter off to the right, you just grabbed a lemon wedge, and whoops, you didn't notice. So like, and here's the thing, this may have happened to you too. It's like, okay, I've got a clock. I know the drinks. Boom, let's go. But you can't move fast.
No.
Because if you do, next thing you know, you accidentally threw a lime in. Well, you just failed the whole drink. Now, I do appreciate that they want you to be exact on the pours.
Yep.
Because that's a very cool bartender skill. That's kind of a necessary bartender skill. I'm not going to detract any points because it's all in metric. Because suck it up and learn.
It's also a number. You know, it's like here you want 40 of this and 20 of this. Was it milliliters? I don't know.
Yes, milliliters.
And so you're pouring, and like the numbers go up. You know, so you learn to just do the numbers, whatever system they're in.
Right. Yeah, we know our drink. You know, I drink in ounces. I know from counts.
And I will say, like, you know, the more you turn the bottles, the faster it pours, and it, you know, you kind of get that feeling that you're like, there's got to be a happy medium where like you can stop it in time.
Right.
I kind of appreciate.
I would say that was the one physics that actually worked. Was pouring the liquids. So, did you ever drop any utensils?
Do you mean did the game basically break when I dropped the ice cube because it didn't reset ever?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd done that.
And it felt, basically don't ever drop anything, ever, because you're going to be resetting the game. Yeah. Because if it's out of where you can actually reach, and that's actually pretty much everywhere except the bar top, the game is just, sorry, it doesn't exist anymore.
You have to take a bottle and smash it for the game to go, oh, you failed that, and then kind of like do a little reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's messy. It's really, really messy.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Putting all of that aside,
let's
assume patch 1.0 comes out, 2.0, whatever. They fix all the physics problems.
Okay.
How's this game to play?
So why don't you tell people at home how we rate games?
All right. So, I guess, is that the time already? Wow.
I think it's that time.
It is. So, our rating system... Yeah. Mm-hmm. Take that one again. I was distracted by the motorcycles.
Why don't you tell the people at home what our rating scale is, Des?
Our rating system is pretty easy to understand. One is you absolutely have to buy this. If you have a place, please.
Des, why don't you tell the people at home what our rating...
PSVR. This is the first episode we're recording tonight, folks. This is going to be a long one. So,
wait. I can edit all this out. Des, why don't you tell the people at home what our rating system is?
It's pretty easy to understand. One is... you have to buy this. If you have a PSVR, it's got to be in your library. This is just the best of the best for the genre. You need to pick it up.
I think you can stop there.
Okay.
Yeah. What's two?
Okay. Two is, sure, why not? If it's on sale or if it's a genre you particularly like, go ahead, pick it up. It's not going to hurt anybody. Three is no. Do not buy this game. Friends don't let friends buy crap. We need to vote with our wallets and tell developers that we deserve better. So 1, 2, or 3. What do you think?
I've spent a lot of time in my life at bars, whether it be sitting at one, ordering drinks, whether it be making drinks on the other side of one, whether it be working at a restaurant which has bars.
Yeah.
This game does everything that I don't like about bartending. It makes things difficult that shouldn't be. It makes things. It's just. I don't like this. This is gonna get kind of like a personal, not from like a I'm revealing something about my personality, but it's gonna get something about like what I prefer in life. And the thing is no offense to Tomic Malik.
Yeah. But
I hate like craft cocktails. And I hate professional bartenders. No offense, Tomic. I hate people. I hate when like and this goes hand in hand with like sommeliers and stuff like that. Like I hate when people take something that's very, very simple and they overcomplicate it. Like this show, right? This could have been a 4-minute episode. Like, what are we doing here, guys? No, but like in doing tricks with bottles and stuff might be fun for somebody. I don't know. Maybe was it cool in cocktail? I don't know if I've seen that since I was 9, right? It's not interesting to me. And anything that keeps, especially when I was sitting at the bar waiting for my drink, anything that made it take longer for me to get a drink in my hand, pissed me off. I hated it, right? Just stop with the theatrics, make my drink, and get it to me fast, right? That's the only thing I care about. Right? Make it strong, make it fast, get it to me now because I'm already ready for my next one.
Yeah.
Okay? This is also why I don't drink anymore. Right? So, like, there's just too many things about this that are, like, pretentious. There are things about this that are broken. There are things about this that, like, don't make any sense. They're saying it's a bartender simulator, but they've removed everything interesting about being a bartender from the simulation.
Yeah.
I dreaded. I played this a little bit the other day, and having to go back in today to like really do my research for it, I dreaded it.
Yep.
And boy howdy, after a couple hours of playing today, I like this game even less than I did last week.
Yeah.
It's a 3. Stay far away. $20 is an absolute ripoff. Even if you're training to be a bartender, there are infinitely better ways to do it.
Yeah, I would say, like, you know, part of playing a simulation game is the fantasy of doing something you can't do in the real life. Okay, you know, there's all the flight simulators out there. There's all the driving simulators. You know, am I ever going to sit behind the wheel of an F1 race car? No. Can I do it in a video game? Yes. And you know, it is weird. Like, we're in a strange place where we have actually done this for a living. There are people who fantasize about being a bartender. They go to bars and they think like, oh, wouldn't that be so cool if I could be a bartender? And
Really?
yeah. And you might think that this is your chance to kind of live that, but like you said, all those things you think are fun about being a bartender, this surgically removes that.
Yeah.
Okay. Interacting with customers, gone. You know, making some cool special drink for that person. Oh, you know what? I know you really love this and this and this. We have this great cocktail. Oh man, we just got this new cucumber vodka. You're going to love this. Boom. And making something for that customer there, which is kind of cool. You don't get to do that. Even what I was kind of leading to when we came into this, even if the physics worked, even if it was flawless and you could toss that bottle and it matched gravity exactly and you could catch it, you could pour it and everything worked perfectly, there's still no fun to be had here. The only people I can think of that would like this, it's maybe mixed drink flashcards.
Okay.
If you're really like, no, I want to be a bartender. I don't want to have to look at a book. I don't want. Everyone uses a bar book. Okay. Anyone who says they don't is a liar.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look at the bar book. At least for these 16 cocktails, I want to know them freaking cold.
But there's only 16 cocktails.
But there's only 16.
If there was like 100 in the game, it would be one thing.
Yeah. And that's it. So, you know, it's just it doesn't work. And even for the people, it's just. It's bad. It's a 3. It's the definition of a 3. Tomek Malik, you know, I wish you the best, but honestly, I kind of, even though I barely know you, I kind of respect you a little bit less that you have your name all over this thing. Because honestly, you must have sat, you know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say you sat there on a planning thing at the very beginning, gave them some ideas and walked away. Because if you had actually sat and played the final product, dude, I would have them like take your name off of this because this is garbage. It's just straight garbage. And I feel very differently. Like I can understand that impulse. Like, you know, I just don't mess around with my drink. But there are places where no, you know, if it's the stated thing here at this bar, we do magic tricks, we do juggling and all that, then that's cool. But I definitely get like, no, I didn't want that. Why am I getting that? But you know, I like the juggling. I like the show. I like the, you know, showmanship. I like a bartender who knows a couple magic tricks. But this doesn't really do that either, because if this is so broken, you can't practice those moves. So yeah, skip it.
Yeah, and it was very difficult to find positive things to say about this one. So obviously, just like always, you know, we always want to hear what you thought of Bartender Simulator. If you
I'd like
played
to
it.
Go to that rooftop bar. That looks pretty cool.
Like I was saying with the environments, man. I've been to a bar that looks just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some beautiful bars in. Okay, now I forget where I was. I used to drink a lot. San Francisco.
That looks very San Francisco kind of bar.
I think that's where I was. But again, I can't remember who I was with. I could
Tomek Malik.
I could go. It's very possible. We could have been very good friends. I have no recollection of those days. But let us know what you thought of Bartender Simulator. Also, did you want to be a bartender? Like, really? Like, if you're watching this, I need to know. Like, are you really interested in being a bartender? Because you don't. You don't. I promise you. You don't.
Yeah.
No.
It's very rarefied air. You have got to be a very special person to really enjoy doing that, and you have to own the place.
Yeah. Yeah. In total respect to any bartenders out there, any servers out there, we've both been in the restaurant industry most of our lives.
Yeah.
So, you know, we make fun of the profession, but total respect to everyone who does it. It is not easy dealing with the general public.
No.
But not that this game allows you to.
Right. Yeah.
If this was Counterfight, the bar edition.
Yeah.
I would have way more fun with this.
It's service bar, the game.
It is service bar of the game. So that does it for another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR. What other PSVR games do you want us to talk about? The list is long, it gets longer every day, especially when we keep adding games like this to it. Oh boy. As always, my name is Brian Paul.
I'm Des.
That's how we do this? I don't know. We'll see you next week.